So when we started working with the Indigenous, we thought it would follow our basic project process, just like every other project we took on. Like the list of that's kind of general process here. Boy, were we wrong. My name is Donna Chung, and I'm the co-founder of Wakefield. This is our team, and we are a video agency. And so we tell stories that advance reconciliation and awaken cultural change. And so over the last 6 years, we've been working with the 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐫 people. They're located near the 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐭 area. And we've been helping them to capture their stories, preserve elder knowledge, as well as to share their thought leadership. Little did we know, though, that we would be learning an important lesson from them about productivity. Now, productivity in the Western world is often about accomplishing tasks and meeting timelines. We all know how important productivity is valued in our society. In the Indigenous world, though, it's a little different. I think productivity is about walking alongside people while accomplishing those outcomes. It is people-driven, not timeline-driven. They move at the speed of trust. I remember a time when our team was right in the middle of filming with them. And right in the middle of all that intensity, our Indigenous client calls me over, asks me to sit with her to process 𝐕𝐚𝐧𝐜𝐬𝐿 into rope. Now, we sat for what felt like an hour as she kind of sat me down, taught me how to peel the bark back and twist the threads until it became rope. And I remember feeling so uncomfortable. I felt like I wasn't doing my job. There were some timelines, different things I was trying to do, and here I was just sitting not doing what I was paid to do. But as we sat and as we shared stories and processed a stick off a tree, it dawned on me that this was a critical part of the work. This deepening of relationship was the work. And so there was so much internal wrestling as we worked through this collision of worldview perspectives. And with each visit, we sat with that discomfort, and we just did our best to try to lean in. Our Western world is typically linear and logical. And if we're honest with ourselves, we often think that our ways are better, are more efficient, and more effective. But our Indigenous experience tells us that they operate in a much more collaborative way that takes into account the entire community. Because having a multi-generational intent is paramount. And so we had to change our process to indigenize it. And I remember making trip after trip, visit after visit, and I just sit there in meetings and listen and try to understand what was being said by elders and others in the community. It was all at once super uncomfortable, letting go of achieving any outcomes, and also curiously delightful to be illuminated by their thoughts and their ways of doing things. They spoke an uncommon wisdom of how to live life in a good way. And as they shared, we began to map that into how we operated as a company. And so today, 6 years later, this is an example. This is actually a screenshot off of a YouTube page of some of the content we've been working with them over the last 6 years. And we lift our heads from this work, and we find ourselves now allies, advocates, and friends. We even bring up our children up to work alongside us with the intention that one day my son will be able to work alongside their children. And so the work has been rich, really deeply rewarding, and we are gaining now a momentum in the work that we never imagined possible. And so being productive the Indigenous way is about walking alongside with people in the work. It's about building and making decisions with an uncompromising multi-generational view. And this Indigenous way, my friends, will cause you to have to change yourself and your worldviews. Are you willing to change? To be open to a multi-generational, people-first way? It's a quote here that I think really encapsulates it. Action has meaning only in relationship. And without understanding relationship, action on any level will only breed conflict. The understanding of relationship is infinitely more important than the search for any plan of action. If any of you have any questions on our experience work with Indigenous, my contacts there, I'm happy to chat with you. If you are interested in joining our newsletter, there's a QR code there. We share updates on Indigenous insights, storytelling frameworks, and experiential events that we are curating in the city. So thank you.